Hello there folks, and welcome to xzibi's Let's Play Eldritch. Today we're going to be delving into yet another different type of dungeon, this one very much based on the works of H.P. Lovecraft, very much my kind of thing. Right, this is leaderboards, we don't want it, but you can, as soon as you log in, you can select your character and you can change it however you want. That's not really interesting to me. There are some basic controls, these books hopefully will teach them to you, so, no, not that one, they're around here somewhere. There we go. Book, read. So Explorer's Journal tells you what's going on. This is the soul of the librarian. You can pick it up in order to basically start the main quest in the game. These teach you how to move, so you've got jump and you can mantle. You've got C to crouch and left shift to sprint, and you can slide from that as well. Crouch is a toggle. What else have we got? Yeah, crouch sprinting for power slide. Lean left and right, we will need that an awful lot. And then the default controls are not comfortable, you can change them. Well, that's lovely. These are artifacts. They're not actually coins as much as they look like them, but pretty much you can consider that they are coins for all intents and purposes. All they're really used for is, well, upgrades mostly. And you can use them to cast spells, for example. They're actually your mana. I'm not going to put these away in the bank. These are your missions, basically. There's 3 separate missions, each of them has a secret item in it if you want the good ending. This is a completely separate mission based on At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft. If you've read that beforehand, you'll have a clear idea what's going to happen if you go through that one. But let's just have a go in the first strange book. Right, here we are. Now you're going to have to be extremely careful. We don't have any items, as I'm aware. No gear, no souls of any kind except the one that you have to start with. This is page 1 of the Explorer's Journal. That should tell you what's going on, but at the moment we're not that interested. We have no weapons, and we have to try and not get killed. Right, fruit is more health, so we could take that, but I'm not going to just yet. As you can see, we've got 3 out of 3 health. We can get more health. Ooh, that is a Shoggoth. I mean, it's not a terribly well made Shoggoth, but it is a Shoggoth, and one does not want to tangle with Shoggoths. They are hard. As hard as their Lovecraftian counterparts. Now if we can get away from them, and then they will lose track of us. But it's one of those things where if you can do that, that's brilliant. If you can't, you might be a bit screwed. Yep, over the edge. Right, now this is a statue and will give us powers. What have we got here? Lift power. We can hurl ourselves upwards. Lift can be used even while airborne, allowing you to reach any height. But it costs, again, 1 artifact to use, so that is absolutely perfectly useful, exactly what you would want for manoeuvring about. Some of the better powers are, for example, invisibility and mind control of the monsters, so that you can mind control them. The atmosphere, if you can hear the music, is one of terrible dread. You can actually, because this is voxel based, you can drill your way through the walls if you're smart enough with your supplies. For example, if you get some TNT, that will get you through the walls. Right, here's a snake. If we can creep up on it, we can kill it. Now, this is one of the best things I love about the game. If you loot the corpse will then go away and that monster will respawn. You can control the monsters that are in your level by whether or not you loot them. So if you just kill everything and don't loot anything, you can empty the level of monsters. On the other hand, you'll have no supplies with which to kill the rest of them. So I mean, how are you going to make that call? Which way are you going to go? Jump boots, let's see. We'd need 20. Again, this is why you need the money, because you can buy things. Tinning kit's absolutely brilliantly useful. It lets you eat the corpses of the monsters. Again, that counts as disposing of the corpses, and then the monster will respawn. So if you can somehow avoid doing that, right, what we're mainly looking for is the exit. On one of these floors is going to be a trapdoor to a lower level. Oop, he got us there. I am going to be looting. Oop, there's a right, now really I shouldn't have looted that guy, because those guys are quite hard. You can't, however, kill the Shoggoths. The reason I ran away from them straight away is because they are immortal, as they should be, because they're made of reformable, basically, genes that will adapt to any situation, as the Great Old Ones made them. Unfortunately, they then adapted not to need the Great Old Ones and not to be controllable by them. Oh, we're going to need to get past this Shoggoth, I think. So if we can pull him down one side and then sneak out down the other. I think he can hear us. Okay. Oh, yep, he can hear us. So you're coming this way, so we run away. And then we slide into a sneak. Hopefully we can get away. Oh, a gun. Definitely take that. Oh, no, we're going to have to jump for it. Oh, and that's it. We're dead. But that's not one of the problems. Let's do it again. I mean, this is literally rogue-esque. Very rogue-like, but it's not turn-based and it's not top-down, if you see what I mean. So, oh, more Shoggoths. You don't always end up with Shoggoths on the first floor of the first area, but clearly we've been unlucky this time. There are other enemies that are immortal, so to say, but Shoggoths are probably the fastest and worst to come upon. So let's see if we can't find some other ways, some other items. Oh, that'll do. You notice we lost all of our items. If we'd had any health bonus, we'd have lost all of those. You get 1 life and that's it. And sometimes traps will insta-kill you, so that can be frustrating. Oh, I hear a cultist. Now, if you've been playing this about Halloween time, you'll find that a lot of the things are different, and there's even a Halloween level. I actually find that makes it too easy. Not like I'm showing off or anything, but it does make it to the point where you can run through the Halloween level and come out with basically 50 of everything, and the rest of the game is almost trivial. But maybe that's what you want to do. If you do want to have an easier time as you're learning it, then switch your date on your computer to sort of Halloween-ish time, and you'll end up with the big pumpkin in the first library. Oh, can we kill this? Oh no, it's a corpse. Well, we're going to create an enemy by looting it. But perhaps that's not the worst thing in the world. If we can get the sneaking boots, now they are useful. Ooh, rock. Now, rock again is a bit like in Spelunky. It's a brilliant weapon. Unfortunately, there aren't any traps that you can really trigger with it, but weapon-wise, you can throw it and you can distract creatures with it. So it's, again, the primitive taking charge in this instance. Right, so we now have TNT, which will allow us to blow our way through, but remember, an explosion is going to make a heck of a lot of noise, and a rock, which makes enough noise to distract an enemy, but also you can bash their heads in with it. Right, what have we got? A revolver, excellent, probably better than the rock, slightly. Rotten meat. If there are certain perks that allow you to eat that without risk, but you can eat it as it is, and just take a risk. It is a risk whether it will upset your stomach and poison you or not. But it's a calculated risk. You know what you're getting into after the first time of eating it. I am taking the dynamite with me, because if we find that there's, say, a Shoggoth blocking our path in one direction, we might be able to blast our way through from another side and get through that way. Right, now you can take these out with bullets. Now remember, of course, you can see the bullets on the left-hand side. We do not have a lot of them. Probably better to save them for some of the harder enemies. But if you can get a shot on them without them noticing you, it's an insta-kill, which is very nice. Very nice. Right, there must be one of these trees that's got some food in it, or rotten meat. No, I don't want to risk the rotten meat. We've only got 3 health. You can get more health by finding a fountain, for example. That boosts your total health, but sometimes they only heal you, so it's not so much a risk as it's a chance. The best part about this game is the atmosphere, which unfortunately I'm talking over, but well, if you did want to play this game yourself, it's available on Steam. It's not terribly expensive, and it is steeped in atmosphere, more so than even some of the more expensive titles of AAA games. Right, now we are down to the next floor, sort of. These are sort of floor segments, randomly generated. They're about 3 or sometimes 4 of these floors deep, as you can see. But there are several of them in each library book, and you're essentially just trying to sneak through. They are themed, and especially the Mountains of Madness level is terribly well themed. But you do have to be sneaky in basically all of them. This is a game about sneaking. Unless, of course, you find some kind of, I don't know, exploit to get infinite dynamite or something. That would probably serve you well. Right, as you can see, we don't have any bullets, so that gun is now totally useless. Probably better off barehanded for now. I might just take the gun in case we find any more bullets, but if we were to find more bullets, they'd be in the shape of a gun. So, oh, another one of those. If you're careful, you're not likely to wake too many things. Oh, fell straight onto the spikes. I didn't think I was that close. Well, we'll give it one more go. Unfortunately, you have to get through an entire segment at once. In fact, you have to get through all 3 books in one life in order to get the ending, because if you die, everything resets. But as you practice, you get better at it, and it does in fact become possible, especially when you get more items and you get more bullets. You become better equipped as you go along. With just the sneaking boots and the decent magical spell, you can be totally equipped to deal with most of the game. But the thing is, when you encounter new enemies or new items, you can make mistakes with them, and that's what's so thrilling. Oh, a rock, I'll take that. There was, you may have noticed, a poisonberry bush back there. I am not going to eat those because I'm not in that kind of desperate need. Ooh, a key. Right, finally we can unlock a locked door. For example, that one. Is there likely to be anything good within it? Well, usually a key is worth using. Yes, here we go. So now we've got a dagger, which is a brilliant melee weapon. Can usually one hit from a stealth kill. My favourite combo is the dagger and pistol combo, because if you need to take something out at range, you've got the pistol. Otherwise, you've got the dagger for close and quiet kills. The rock, for example, isn't quiet because when it lands, it bounces and makes a noise. We haven't actually lost any health, I should say, so there is not yet any reason to even risk the poison berries. However, do be careful about the spikes. As you've seen, I've died on them several times now. Entirely my own fault. But then that's one of the best parts about some of my favourite games are games where they are hard but fair. If you die, it will generally be your own fault. And you need to be careful. Right, now we can go down to the next floor and completely escape that Shoggoth. Personally, that's not what I think of as a Shoggoth, because they're all exactly the same shape every time. One of the sort of key features of Lovecraft's Shoggoths is their ability to change shape and adapt. Are those the sneaking boots? Yes, they are. We could attempt to steal them, but I think it's better to come back with the money in the long run. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can sell. I don't believe selling is a option in this game. Sorry, I've got a bit of a tickly cough going on. Right, oh dear. Did he hear us? He may have done. Well, luckily he can't get up here because he doesn't have legs, but then that shouldn't really be a problem for a Shoggoth. Still. And he's dead. Unfortunately, he did take 1 point off us. Ah, a ladder. And some dynamite. Well, let's get rid of this. If we're going to be noisy, if we're going to carry a noisy option, we may as well carry a good noisy option. And this is actually quite useful. If we find, say, oh, here we go, a locked door, we can drop some TNT and run away. Not locked anymore. And in fact, we've actually drilled a hole down to the next level. So now we have a key, another three keys, and another dagger. Right, so if we look down, we can get some, it spikes a lot down there. Ooh, we can jump down this way. That's not too bad. So, I mean, it is voxel based and uses that to its advantage, but not necessarily overly so. It's not like Minecraft where they've taken the fact that it's voxels and turned it into one of the game's primary features. Instead, it's just sort of additional. It is something you can use, but it's not something you will always use on every run. But it clearly has given them the ability to flexibly change the game. So each level is different. Right now, if we can take enough out of this, we can buy those boots. That would be nice. The question is, did I go how far past those boots did I go? I believe they were on the last level, but we'll see if we can get up there at all. We should be, because we didn't destroy the only way up or anything, although that is something you can do with explosives. Luckily you can mantle, so often enough you can still get where you want to go. Right, all the stealth boots actually do is silence the footprints you make while standing and running. If you read them, these boot steps silence your footsteps. So we buy those, and now as you can see, you can't hear us running. That means that we can go anywhere without having to sneak. Oh, yep, there's no point attacking the Shoggoth, because he just doesn't take damage, or at least if he does take damage, it doesn't register at any point that I've ever seen. Right, more bullets, more food, run away again, into a slide, and just hope he doesn't follow us. Generally they're not fast enough, and I don't think they can climb over lips very easily. Another key, another revolver, so we're now up to 11 bullets. That's pretty good. Unfortunately, tripwire traps also take bullets. There are certain things that take different consumables. The main one, of course, is the monetary, the artifact consumable. Yeah, I'll take that. So 1 artifact per jump. Ooh, what's that? That looks like possibly part of a monster, so let's look over the other side and see if we can't see where it is. Yep, monster's legs. Well, we might as well loot it. Oh, Shoggoth, run away. And this is sort of most of the game. The sneaking and trying not to be caught. I do believe you're actually more stealthy when using the sneaking boots, even if you continue crouching, so it is still worth doing. However, noise won't happen regardless of how you move. Looking for the next trapdoor does seem to take a while, especially when you're trying to get there without being chased by a Shoggoth, as was the case last time. Rotten meat, no, we don't need any food. In fact, up here might be, yes, more items. Is that a rock? Yes, it's just a rock. Well, with bullets and a knife, I don't think we really need one. We have got the jump spell, which I think must be new. Right, this is a perfect situation to use a gun, because there's no way I'd sneak up on one of those eyeballs without it, but one single shot from stealth took him down. So, goodbye, eyeball. And no, I'm not going to loot you, because not a chance in hell I want you to spot me and then summon all the Shoggoths or whatever it is that you actually do, because I wasn't paying enough attention. More bullets. I can hear someone walking about. Ah. Now in there appears to be some interesting loot, but in order to get it I'm going to have to use at least one key and then fight for it. I don't know if they can see me. It's probably better to use the knife for much of this. Is he dead? As you can see, they only take 2 at the best of times. Ooh, jump boots. Now comes the dilemma, in that you can only wear 1 pair of boots at once. Personally, I think that the stealth boots are better by far. But, you know, your mileage may vary, your playstyle will definitely vary. It is entirely up to you what you would take. of course, in order to make that decision, you're going to have to play the game. And yeah, try not to make a mess in your trousers. It's not that scary, but it is... I don't know, I suppose the term would be tense. It's quite tense. Constantly trying to avoid death, because those Shoggoths, while I have avoided them quite uncannily so far, or should I say cannily, they do hit pretty hard. Right, now the secret item that will be here somewhere is is a special piece of gear that gives you the best ending. However, that would mean that it means getting rid of other gear that you already have, which naturally makes the later levels harder. So obviously you're going to want to pick the order you pick them up in very carefully. But more importantly, oops, sorry, there goes my phone. Thought it was off. More importantly, you're going to need to be very careful with it. Because very careful to find it. Because in order to find it, you have to usually go down on the last floor of any book, and then you will have to go up from beneath, because there won't be an access directly from above. I've never actually succeeded in getting that ending so far, but apparently it is possible. I don't actually know what happens. All I know is that you can collect 3 of them, and then if you still manage to complete it, you get a different ending. Hopefully that's not a serious spoiler. I need to label this video with potential spoilers, I suppose. Yep, there's still Shoggoths about. They're gonna eat my face. Is that a... No, I thought that might have been a corridor through to somewhere I'd not seen before. Right, descending down. I'm not going to loot those things because the eyeballs are some of the worst creatures. See if we can't at least get through this one book without getting horribly eviscerated. Sure, I heard skittering just then. Oh, another jump statue. We've already got the jump spell, thank you. I really want the stealth spell, if it's available. Right, now that will have alerted someone, so if we hide, we may be able to get the jump on the second one. No? Sneaking and corner leaning. Oh, yep, that you can see the Shoggoth. He's found the dead body. And it's just inspecting it. Are we able to get past? Possibly not, in fact. Maybe if we sneak around behind this. No. We might be able to sneak over the wall to this. Because we're stealthy, of course. And then over that wall, if we're very clever. Oh, yeah, they can't get us up here. However, they do appear to have seen us. So, run away. Maybe we can pull them over here. And then run past them when they're coming over here. Oh, now they've seen us. Now run away. And then... Ooh. Up here. Now they can't get us in here because the door's locked. Let's see if we can't... We're probably going to need that. And then run this way. Right, we got past them. Now we've just got to try and get out of sight before they can see where we went. And that worked rather well. Rather better than I was expecting, to be fair. That raised platform looks like it could be accommodating either a way down or a trapdoor. No, it's not good. Right. I say good. I would have liked to have found the trapdoor, but never mind. Doing okay for artifacts, so we can afford to use our high jump power. Probably better to loot just the mutants of Dagon. Right. Before going up to the top of this pyramid, which is the end of this book, I'm going to search around the side for the rewards area. So we go in there. You're going to need a couple of keys to get all the rewards. You're also going to want to sneak up on this guy, because this first temple, this guy is always here, in that order. So we can get these artifacts. We don't need the dagger because we've already got one. Sneaking over here, there's more skitterers, but we can take them out with a decent dagger blow. And we have a tinning kit. Now tinning kits are brilliantly useful. Should we be lower on health, we could use it to tin the monsters and eat their flesh and heal ourselves, which sounds a bit gross, but basically the point is you tin their meat and then cook it in the tins, and you're actually eating just normal cooked meat. I say normal, abnormal, possibly hypernormal. Right, this is the soul from the book that we were looking to collect, and then we can return to the library. That's the only way to get back to the library. You can get back via the very first book or the last one. So you either need to make your way in and back or out again. You can't just randomly quit at any time. Right, now we've got the first soul, we can shove it on this pedestal and we get a note. We need to do that for both of the other books, whether or not we get any special items or whatever, in order to open that door to exit the library. And that's the majority of the game. Besides the Mountains of Madness level or the Asylum, which I have never really understood. It seems to be just endless fighting and getting killed repeatedly. There are pages of the story laying around to read, and that is sort of the majority of the game. And I have completed it several times now. Never getting the secret ending, however you do that, but always enjoying it. I mean, literally, it's generally the same game, but because it's interestingly different every time, and the atmosphere is always tense, it's a really enjoyable game. So for now, I'm just going to deposit all the money into the chest to sort of refill what we took. And these chests are bank chests that teleport and are available every time. And say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it. If you'd like to see more videos, I will be posting them on my channel, so you can subscribe to see those. If you want to let me know what you thought of the video, you can tell me via the comments, or you can tweet @IatZine. And thanks very much for watching, like I said, and I hope to see you in some of my other videos.